Before we start, let us first examine ourselves if we are wearing our proper uniforms and to see the cleanliness of the room. It seems that everyone is wearing their proper uniforms and the room is clean. Let us proceed with the attendance. Miss Noel, please see if there are any absentees for today. Thank you, Miss Noel. Then, Mr. Albedo, please lead the prayer. Thank you, Mr. Albedo. Again, good morning, students. You may now take your seats. See this equation on the board. X squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 0. This is an example of quadratic equation. Did you know that you can solve quadratic equations to see its factors without using trial and error method? Yes, we can, I can, and you can. But first, we need to understand what is quadratic equation. So, a quadratic equation in one variable is an equation in which the highest power of a variable is 2. The standard form of this formula is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equals to 0 and x is the variable. Here are some of the examples. X squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0 and x squared minus 16 equals 0. Let us identify which is A, B, and C from these following examples. So the first example, which is x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. The A is 1 and the B is 3. The C is 2. The second example, the A is still 1. Since there are no coefficients, the standard is 1, and there are no B since there are no bx, and the constant c is negative 16. Let us proceed with the several other ways to solve quadratic equations. So the first is extracting the square roots, which is our topic for today. The second is factoring. The third is completing the square. The fourth, using quadratic formula. And the fifth or last is graphing. Before we proceed to our main topic, let's first understand how to manipulate the formula and find the standard form for easy answering. Writing quadratic equations in standard form. So the standard form, it was mentioned earlier. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Here is an example for you to understand it better. 5x squared plus 3x equals 7. So this is not only standard form since there are no c. So we must transpose 7 from the other side. So it would become negative 7 since it's positive. 5x squared plus 3x minus 7, and 7 minus 7 is 0. Then it is in a standard form now. 5x squared plus 3x minus 7 equals 0. Let's identify which one is A, B, and C. Clee, please state which is A. Very good, it is 5. And Kazuha, please state which is B. Very good, it is 3. Then Bennett, this state, which is C. Excellent. It is negative 7. The next example, 2x squared equals negative 8x. So we must transpose negative 8x. It will become positive 8x. 2x squared plus 8x equals negative 8x plus 8x. The other side will become 0. Then it will be 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. Again, identify which one is A, B, and C. Diona, please state which is A. Very good, it is 2. Sayo, please state which is B. Excellent, very good, it is 8. Eater, please state which is C. Very good. There are no C since there are no constant of C. Then our answer will be 0. Let us now proceed with our main topic, which is solving quadratic equations by extracting the square roots. The square root method. The general approach is to collect all x squared terms on one side of the equation while keeping the constant to the opposite side. After doing so, the next step is to take the squares of both sides to solve for the x. Always attach the positive and negative symbol when you get the square root of the constant. And remember, the squared method is useful in solving quadratic equations of the form x squared equals c, and when c is not a perfect square and c is not real. Here is the steps in solving quadratic equations by extracting the square roots. The first one is isolate the x squared term on one side and the constant term on the other side of the equations. Combine like terms. The second step, are you keeping up? Very good. Then let us continue. If a is not equals to 1, divide both sides of the equation by a. The last is find the square root. If c is not a perfect square, then simplify. Here is an example for you to understand our topic better. 3x squared minus 2 equals 25. So we must transpose 2 from the other sign since it's constant. So negative 2, it will become positive 2, then 25 plus 2. Then it will be, yes, 27. So 3x squared equals 27. Since a is not equals to 1, we must divide both sides by a, which is 3. Divide both sides by 3. The answer will be x squared equals 9. The number 9 is a perfect square. So we can get the square root faster. So square root both sides, then simplify. X equals positive and negative 3. Here are some more examples for you to understand our lesson better. X squared equals 49. Which is the next step? Kazuha? Yes. Square root, since 49 is already a perfect square. So square root both sides, then simplify. The answer will be clean. Yes, very good. It is positive 7. Positive, negative 7. Next example. M squared plus 3 equals 51. Bennett, what is our next step? Yes, it is to put all the constant to the other side. So we must transpose positive 3 to the other side. Then it will become negative 3. Then 51 minus 3. Very good. Then it will become 51 minus 3 equals 48. M squared equals 48. So squared both sides. Square root of both sides. Since 48 is not a perfect square, we can only simplify it. The factors of 48 is 16 and 3. And 16 is a perfect square, so we can simplify. Our final answer will be m equals positive and negative 4, the square root of 3. Next example is much harder or just simple. 4x squared minus 9 equals 71. The next step is, Leona? Yes, transpose the constant to the other side again. So negative 9 will become positive 9. So 4x squared equals 71 plus 9. It will be razor 80. 4x squared equals 80. And since a is not equal to 1, we must divide both sides by 4. So x squared equals 20. And 20 is not a perfect square. So we must only simplify. And the factors is 4 and 5. And 4 is a perfect square. So our final answer is x squared is x equals albedo. Yes. Positive and negative 2 square root of 5. Other examples. X squared equals 36. This is the same as the last time or the first example, since 36 is a perfect square. Our answer will be Noel. Yes, very good. It is positive and negative 6. Next example, m squared plus 2 equals 83. M squared plus 2 minus 2 equals 83 minus 2. Then 83 minus 2 is 81. And since 81 is a perfect square, our answer will be m equals positive negative 9. Last example for our lesson. 3x squared minus 9 equals 27. What is our next step? Kazuha. Very good. We must transpose 9 to the other side, negative 9 to the other side. So it will become positive 9. 27 plus 9 is 36. So our answer will be 3x squared equals 36. And since a is not equals to 1, we must divide both sides by a, which is 3. Our answer will be x squared equals 12. And since 12 is not a perfect square, you can only simplify them. Our final answer will be x equals positive and negative 2 square root of 3. And since you have understood our lesson, we can have a activity. Get 1/4 sheet of paper, since it is quite easy. You are to solve for the value of x of the given quadratic equations. You will only get 10 minutes for this activity. Since you have all finished, please pause them. Thank you. So, generalization. How can we solve for the value of x if x squared equals a? Albedo? Perfect. Very good. We can solve the value of x by extracting the square root, which is our lesson. Since you have understood our lesson for today, I will not give any assignments, just that activity earlier. If there are no further questions, then we may close this discussion. Ether, please lead our ending prayer. That will be all. Thank you for today and goodbye everyone.